Welcome back to Team Fat Kid Choose Fat. I'm Jason.
This is Dennis.
I'm Dooley.
Alex will be joining us in a little while. He is sick and at home, so we told him to keep his ass there. He's gonna join us in on a Zoom call here in a few minutes, but we have a surprise today. We've been talking about it for a couple months. The Amish Baby Machine Pop Culture Podcast. We are going to attempt, because that's what we always do, to do a simultaneous podcast. So in the sense, it would be us recording a podcast with him zoomed into our podcast, and then him recording his podcast with us zoomed into his podcast at the same exact fucking time. So this should be very interesting. I don't know if it's ever been done.
It's gonna be
You're the podcast guy. Do you think this has ever been fucking done before?
Not podcasts inside of podcasts.
So yeah, we wrote down a bunch of questions for him. I'm sure he has questions for us. And the fun fact about this whole thing is like, I met Dags through, which he's the host, by the way, of you guys who don't know, the Amish Baby Machine Pop Culture Podcast. He is the host, and his co-host is Mike Rez. I don't know if Mike is going to be with us today. I don't know the ins and outs. Like I said, like I met him on Twitter just because we both had a podcast, and like we were just bullshitting on Twitter, and he was like, "Hey man, one day we should do a fucking podcast," and I was like, "Let's do it. We're down." And like,
Always down for this.
so like once the schedules had to co-align. Is that the right word? I guess.
The stars and plans set to align for this to
Yeah,
happen.
so everything lined up late on Friday night, and here we are Monday about to launch. And he was like, "Let's do it." Like he's like, "I got some free time." I was like, "Hey man, you got free time? We got free time. Let's go." So that's the gist of today's podcast. Real fast before we get going any further, before we call him in. Dennis, how the fuck was your week?
I knew it was coming. Actually, last week was really busy. Between with work at the shop and everything, having to deal with certain customers that are just, well, you gotta love people that try to tell you how to do your job. And I'm like, I've been doing this longer than you have. Oh, that's right. You've never cut a piece of meat in your life. But, yeah, I had a person that was...
I'm sure at this point in people's lives, they have cut bites of steak off of a steak. So you can't say they've never cut a piece of meat in their life.
Not whenever I have a person that says to me that steak is supposed to have a resistance when you cut into it.
Okay,
So
I'm confused.
Yeah, they were telling me the steak was too tender.
Wow.
It was too tender. It's supposed to be tougher.
So well done.
Yeah. It's like that post, like what do you say? What do you say to people and everything whenever they eat steak like this well done like that? Nothing. They're fucking still chewing.
Yeah.
Nah, that and then like I said last week and everything, the clopen life is definitely real.
Yeah, that does suck.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, hey, I'm having fun, getting new experiences and everything, and rocked the shit out on Saturday night. Like I was in the weeds pretty much the entire time as soon as I got there. But we handled it. It was good. It was a good weekend, and it's pretty much about it though. It's not been that too exciting besides work, and then drinking every now.
Dooley, how the fuck was your week?
Staying marking baseboards, moving mattresses, figuring out power breakers.
It's been interesting.
Pretty much Jason was there with me the entire week. Like, I'm like, hey, what about this thing? Do you know anything about that? Oh, let's go look at it. Hey, what about that paint? Oh, it's the exact same color as the shit that we're actually trying to paint over. Okay. And pretty much just random maintenance calls that I didn't feel like doing. So, outside one room where they want a new refrigerator. Go in there, and there's half-naked girls in there. Like, under the covers, where you can clearly tell. And I come back with the new refrigerator, knock on his door twice, and there's noises coming from inside the room. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave this. So, but yeah, just vacuuming all the everything.
You did do a lot of vacuuming. That was partially my fault.
Whatever kept me away from doing maintenance calls.
Hey man, the boss said she needed the area cleaned. We got to clean. That's the way shit works.
Well, other than that, like, you know pretty much most of it. So
My week was fun. I stopped by a gym. I think it was like Wednesday, because there was a Subway next to it. So I went to Subway. I said buy a gym, dude. Like I didn't say I went in.
I was about to say, wait, what?
Stopped by a gym because I was going to
Subway
Subway
in a
because
gym?
they got the $5.
I'm going to the gym now.
They got the
Shit.
$5 footlong special happening right now.
Oh shit!
And so like I walk in there, dude, and the social distancing, like the poor guy behind the counter was alone, which sucked. And I knew I could see it in his face, like his life was sucking.
Yeah.
There's like me. There was 2 people in front of me and probably like 5 people behind me.
And then also the online orders.
Oh yeah, he was in the shit, and like I felt bad. Like it's kind of like, dude, I can make sandwiches too. Like I can help you out.
You want me to jump back there real quick, bro? Like,
So I witnessed this is a real. I really witnessed this happen. This guy ordered a sandwich and he was getting a foot long tuna. Nothing wrong with that. I'm a fan of Subway's tuna, but he's like, let me get onions on half of it and lettuce on all of it. And he's like, okay. And then like he's like, don't cut it in half. I was like, you are clearly a psychopath. Like, because like you what, you're gonna eat like half your sandwich and then you want it to change flavor, like so the onions disappear, or you start having onion. like how are you gonna, like, why would you, like, I thought in my mind, and I'm sure the kid behind the counter thought the same thing, like, oh, you're gonna split this with somebody.
Yeah.
And they don't like onions, and or you don't like onions, and the other person does, and like so. But the guy said don't cut it, but he's got a mask on. I can understand what he's saying because I can read mumble. But the kid started cutting, and he's like, I said don't cut it. And I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, and the kid was like, I'm sorry. He's like, I barely cut into the top. And I was like, this guy is a psychopath. Like, why do you not want your sandwich cut in half? Because I'm the guy bitching that you didn't cut it all the way. And then I got home, and my fucking sandwich wasn't cut all the way through. And he just like, it's like, that like inch of bread that's still attached at the bottom. Like, I don't know. That was.
It's kind of like the.
But I couldn't be mad at the kid because I was like, oh man, the psychopath, like.
It was the psychopath ruined him.
Yeah, like he didn't know what he was cutting anymore.
It's kind of like the Brian Regan thing, or because me knowing all the comedies, it's like there's a donut that has icing all over it, and then sprinkles on only one side of the donut. Like, oh, you're clearly a psychopath. Like, if you start biting into one half, being homered, and then the other half, you're like, I'm going to change the game.
It's like I want peanut butter and jelly, but I don't only want peanut butter on half of my sandwich. I don't get it. But all right, so we're about, let's go ahead and call in everybody, and let's get this podcast really rolling. All right, so we finally got Dags from Amish Baby Making Machine Pop Culture Podcast on. We got him on Zoom. So, Dags, like, we have communicated for a while via Twitter. This is our actual first conversation that we've actually spoke. So how's it going, man? How are things over on your side?
Good. It's powerful here in Minnesota. We just had a powerful monsoon last night, so we're riding the storm out, as REO Speedwagon says.
So, like, just to get into it, how like, because I know we briefly talked. Like, how did you get into the podcast world?
How did I get into podcasting?
Yeah.
Well, the name's pretty unique, right?
Oh, it's totally.
unique.
And like, I have questions about that. So if you want to just tie it all in, like, we'll just like.
Sure, why not? So I was playing powerful games of Call of Duty, and I was just eating massive amounts of macaroni and cheeses.
Nice.
And then I just ate too much, when you kind of just pass out. Carb overload, the itis. And I just had weird fever dreams, and I had weird visions, and I came up with the Amish Baby Machine. I wrote it down, and the rest is history, as they say.
So I got to be honest with you, for a long time I messed up your name. I was calling you the Amish Baby Making Machine.
Yeah, you just said it. You just said it in the intro, didn't you, Jim?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. I can't help it. It's like the Amish Baby
fine.
Making Machine.
Amish
babies.
Just think a machine. Yes, we are a machine. Powerful cogs and sprockets.
So talk to me about the logo, because it kind of reminds me of, like, what is it, like Friday Night at Freddy's? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Like, you got like the baby doll head with the eyeball popping out. Like, how did, like, so we know you came up with the name while you're playing Call of Duty carb overloading on delicious mac and cheeses. But, like, how did you come up with that logo?
Well, the gear, the sprocket, that represents the machine. And then the baby, that's just a horrific vision of a baby. So I just put it all together, and that's how the powerful logo was born.
So did you design the logo yourself?
I didn't do the artwork. I came up with the concept and found someone to put it together.
Because we were talking, we listened to your podcast as well, and we like your intro music.
Yeah, that
It's
intro.
phenomenal, man. Like, we really like it. And like, we're like, is that like a local band, or like, how did you end up with like that?
And also the animations and everything.
The music, everything, I just find people and I come up with ideas, and then I have people put it together. So the music, I appreciate you like the intro. I found some dudes online. And as far as, you saw the intro animation also?
Yes.
Yeah, that's another thing I found too. So I just I kind of put my ideas together, thumbnail them out, and then find dudes that are good at what they do.
Hell yeah, man.
I mean, that's
way to do it.
So we have a little bit of a surprise that we didn't tell you about, obviously, but we know that you're a fan of the Blue Raspberry Bang with the Super Cream.
Yes.
In the
Let's get it
Ultra
on.
COQ10, I don't know exactly what that is.
CoQ10.
Yeah, so you do.
Yeah, it's a powerful supplement for your heart. CoQ10.
So I heard you talk about it, and I've never had it. So I went out and I found this, and we're gonna pass around it, and I'm gonna give you my review on your powerful energy drink.
Well, my ultimate energy drink is Blue Demon.
Blue Demon.
Full throttle Blue Demon, and they don't call it Blue Demon anymore because it was offensive to demonologists, I think. So, yeah.
It's
So now
offensive to demons.
It's offensive to Nightcrawler, yeah. So they just call it.
Nice reference there.
Yes, thank you. I'm if you want to get me going on comics, feel free.
I'm a huge comic fan.
Yeah. What's that?
I said I'm a huge comic fan. Like, when I was a
Are
kid.
you?
Yeah, when I was a kid,
I'm ready to talk. Ready to talk about anything pop culture.
I have a lot of things to cover, because like we got some pop culture and some food mixed in together. So I was trying to tie together like both of our topics at the same time. But like, one of the questions I have, like, do you actually cook? Do you jump in the kitchen?
With cooking, I'm Italian Amish, so I do enjoy the pasta. I think I like to cook, but I think I have a hard time. You guys could probably talk about this multitasking.
Yeah.
Where you have to keep like 3 pans going, and you're doing this and you're doing that. I can handle something where it's just do that, put that in there. But when you have like 3 burners going at the same time and you have to time everything out, that's where I think I fail.
So we're in the process. I don't know if you've seen like our social media, but we're in the process of doing. We're trying to cover 50 iconic sandwiches from the 50 states, and the one that we chose from Minnesota is the Juicy Lucy, and I'm sure you're familiar with that.
The Juicy Lucy, yes.
Are you a fan of the Juicy Lucy?
I think it's overrated.
Yeah.
There's a couple restaurants here. What did you have? Matt's Bar, and then 5-8 Club.
The
I think
5-8
those are
Club.
like the two.
Those are two.
I think there's
a fight
there's
between
2
us
of
two, isn't
them.
it?
They had kind of a rivalry who came up with it first. But I think it's cool. I made them before, but the problem is that you make them and then it comes out like molten lava and burns the crap out of your mouth. So you really got to be careful. I think if there's a way to make them, like maybe have, I don't know if this would be cheating, but have 2 cooked patties and then at the last second put them together. and then the cheese would be viable in there, and it wouldn't just drip out in a greasy mess.
All right, so like you're giving us homework. We're gonna try to recreate the Juicy Lucy so that it doesn't.
Yes, exactly. It'd be like a powerful ravioli.
Meat ravioli. Now that's what I'm talking about.
So, like, all right, what is your favorite food?
Favorite food would be Italian.
Italian, just anything Italian?
Anything Italian. Yeah. Well, I don't like the gnocchi. I don't think potato. I don't consider that pasta.
No, see,
anything pasta based, I love.
Our producer, my wife, she's the one who allows us to be dumb and do all these crazy things. But she's Italian, and she is a big fan of the chicken gnocchi soups and things like that. So she's a big fan. She would be hurt that you. Thank God she's not listening right now, because she would have arguments about how gnocchi has its place.
Yeah.
But to me, I think
I
it's
don't
more.
hate it. I don't hate it, but if I had a, it's one of the last Italian things I'd eat. Typically, I like Southern Italian, but I do like some of the Northern Italian cream sauces.
Okay. I'm with you on the cream sauces. I for a long time like wouldn't stray very far on the noodle map away from angel hair. I think it's a texture thing, but now like I'm into like the bucatini and the other what's the pappardelle? Like I'm big fans of those now.
It's really weird on pasta. It's all semolina wheat, but it's all amazing how the size and the texture can make it taste totally different.
Right. Yeah.
You have angel hair, and then it has to do with what sauce you use. You use a heavy sauce, you use a light sauce on angel hair, and even things like rigatoni or penny pasta. I like ridges. To me, the ridges hold the sauce better.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So I don't like like a smooth penny. I like it with ridges. And there's an Italian word, I forget. It's basically however you say rigatoni,
like,
the ridges.
Yeah.
The ridges. Yep.
Penne rigate, I believe is how it's said. I don't know. It's on the box.
It's on the box.
Okay,
but
so
yeah, I do. So I do typically. Well, I pretty much like I said, any pasta. I like them all.
So I would venture to say that your go-to weeknight meal would be like a pasta dish or something like that.
I would say I like all in all. I like linguine noodles the best. They're they're a happy medium. Fettuccine tends to be too fat, and a lot of times it sticks together a lot.
Yeah.
It's you got to watch it when you're boiling it.
Yeah.
I kind of like easy stuff. So I kind of like, angel hair is cool too, but my go-to is probably a linguine.
Okay. We're gonna hit you with a couple more food questions, then we're gonna jump into some pop culture stuff, because I really want to know about your point of views on some of these things. And now that I know that you're a comic book nerd like myself, we can get into some of that. What? Like, you know how like fast food's kind of like a regional thing. Like they have like these, like, I don't want to call them like underground chains, but they're just not available everywhere. Like White Castle, I'm sure you guys have up there, correct?
Oh, I love White Castle.
But then like in the South, it's Crystals, and then like around here, there's a new one coming out. It's called Cookout. It started off in like I think North Carolina, and then like Chick-fil-A is like a regional thing. Like, do you have Chick-fil-A in Minnesota?
Yeah, we do.
You do. Right, so
We just don't have it on Sunday.
Nobody does.
Nobody has on Sundays. Come on.
So is there another maybe like a more localized fast food chain up in your area that maybe no one knows about, or no one outside of that region?
I'm trying to think. I don't. White Castle would probably be the only one I could think of, and you guys know about that. So I don't. Minnesota, we're lucky. We have a lot of real cool indie restaurants.
Okay.
And we have the diversity of the Twin Cities. I mean, we have everything from Vietnamese, Indian. We have every food and every culture, so it's amazing. And then you get the fusions, the mix-ups.
Right.
So we have a lot of cool stuff. And then, obviously, the food trucks. Food trucks are huge here.
I'll send you some pictures in a minute. We're launching a food truck right now, and we're just having an issue. Just to get a damn license plate right now is taking us forever. So we have the truck. The truck is built and it's been parked in my driveway for a couple weeks now, and we're just trying to get through the bureaucracy of the permitting and all that stuff. I'll send you some pictures when we get done here. It screams Team Fat Kid. But yeah, this is like something that we've been working on for like, I don't know, like 2-3 years trying to get it together. You know, they're not cheap. But so you guys have a lot of food trucks. Is it like in the city or are they kind of like everywhere?
Well, it depends. They have some, you follow them on social media, and they say, hey, we're going to be parked at so-and-so street. Then you show up. Like, I'm a big comedy fan, and now, I mean, it sucks now, you know, open mics, everything's closed. But back in the day, you know, they'd have a comedy show, and then in the parking lot, there'd be a food truck. So you order your food, they text you in the place, and then you'd run out and grab your food. So that was pretty cool.
That's a great idea.
And then
We
they
should look
also
into
have...
that.
Right.
Especially funny.
Oh, it's huge. And then another way is like, you know, main streets where everyone lines all their trucks up.
Yeah, we don't have that privilege in this area. Like, you need to get like property manager permission and all that. There's not really a lot of streets you can just park on.
You know, and we're the Twin Cities. You know, everyone talks about Minneapolis, but St. Paul is huge. St. Paul's got a ton of cool breweries. We have the beer is huge here. So St. Paul kind of gets forgotten when people talk about Minneapolis, especially with all the bad press Minneapolis has been getting. But
Yeah.
St. Paul is kind of like a hidden gem for food.
Awesome. Okay, so I got two more for you real fast because like obviously we're not in your area. Is there like a favorite restaurant of yours that you go to like on a regular basis that might need a little shout out during this this crisis time?
You know, I can't think of anything right now. I kind of mix it up.
Okay. Well, yeah, I do too. Like, I always try to find something new every time I go out. Like, because I always want to, like, it's the experience of new things that maybe I've never had before. All right, and then
That's cool, yeah.
our last food question before we jump into pop culture is like, you have to get rid of one of these, and it's you have to get rid of a cheeseburger, a taco, fried chicken, or pizza. Which one are you getting rid of for the rest of your life?
Fried chicken.
Fried chicken.
Whoa.
Wow, did not see that one coming. I thought you would have hung with. I didn't think you would get rid of pizza with your Italian Amish roots. So fried chicken, you're just gonna get rid of. So cheeseburgers and tacos stay.
Yes. You know, there's not, you know, fried chicken. Where do you end up getting it? I mean, especially where I am, there's not. I have to actually go for a drive to find fried chicken.
Oh wow.
But I'm
It kinda
real
makes sense,
real
like,
close
north.
to tacos, burgers, and pizza.
Yeah, like or I guess
I don't hate fried chicken, but if I had to pick one, that would go.
I guess because we're obviously further south. Like there's fried chicken like almost every corner here.
We got Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, KFC.
It's like 7-Eleven.
Yeah, I mean, like, and then like after you get rid of like your mainstreams, like then like every restaurant has a fried chicken dish as well. So I guess it's just different.
Explain to me waffles and chicken. How does that concept work?
You see, okay, so like, okay, because I'm not a fan, and like people are like, oh, you're from the South, and how can you not like waffles and chicken? I'm like, I don't believe those two things belong together.
They go together pretty
But then I got the butcher here,
Yeah.
who believes that. So you explain it to him, like you're the one who likes the shit.
Well, yeah. What's not to like? You're getting a combination of sweet and savory at the same time, and like, but at the same time, there's also people that do savory waffles with fried chicken, and then they put for the sweet component, they'll use like either honey or like maple syrup or something like that. And if you get the
Yeah, there's plenty of crazy people. Don't worry.
there's car. There's car. Yeah, but hey, I'm a fat man. You know, it's like you got to have the sugar and the savory at the same time.
So what do? You take a bite of the chicken and then the waffle together? Or
Yeah.
I'm confused.
With
I've
the syrup.
seen-
These people are
I've seen-
crazy. Don't worry, you're not missing much.
I've seen some people, take the chicken off the bone and then put it in the waffle and make a taco out of it. So
See, I never done that.
See, I don't believe they belong together.
But at the same time, whenever you're talking about chicken and waffles, there's two different ways of really doing chicken and waffles. The proper way is bone-in chicken, like chicken wing, chicken breast, chicken legs, or even just a whole leg quarter period and everything. But then you've got these other ones out there that try to say, oh, well, we got chicken and waffles, and they're putting, grilled chicken tenders on it. And I'm like, this is not chicken and waffles.
I want
No,
Marvin
I-
calling it.
Yeah.
The bone gives flavor to meat, so
Yeah.
you should always
Yeah.
have it in.
Oh,
Pork
yeah.
chop, anything. Always have the bone in.
Oh heck yeah! That and then
Because then it becomes just a chicken nugget.
Right? I agree with you 100%. It's boneless wings.
Now that we're talking about Southern food, though, I do love grits. I do love biscuits and gravy. Biscuits and gravy is powerful. I love the sausage gravy.
that's how I judge every breakfast place I go to is by their biscuits and gravy.
Oh yeah, I think I'm a huge fan of biscuits and gravy, and I'm a fan of like the bowls where they put like the biscuit at the bottom, and then you get like your potatoes, your eggs, and then they dump the sausage gravy over everything.
Yes, layering.
That's
Yeah.
called
Powerful
Bob,
layers.
That's called Bob Evans. That's Bob Evans right there, hands down.
But to be fair, though, there's not a really good waffle chicken joint around here. I'd have to get in the car and do a drive.
I got to be honest with you, there's not a really good waffle and chicken joint around here either. Like there's no Roscoe's chicken and waffles around.
Yeah, I
here.
agree.
Holy crap! How did that happen?
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah, how did that happen already? We might have to.
I don't know.
We might have to pause you and jump back into this podcast with you. I don't know how we got there that fast. Did they?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that the sick dude's audio is really loud, so I don't know if you're gonna pick it up on my end too through the mic. But
Oh, I just turned it down.
Alex.
Yeah.
All right. While we got you, so we're gonna switch some gears to pop culture questions, or just to like well, not even do you consider food to be in the pop culture category?
food,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, think about it. Taco Bell. I mean, that's a running joke.
Yeah.
Burger King.
Do you remember in Demolition Man when they had like every restaurant was Taco Bell?
Yes,
It's fine dining too.
exactly. No, food is definitely in pop culture.
Okay, so
In some parts of the country, they call it soda culture.
soda culture, really? That's a thing?
Yeah, they don't call it pop.
Oh, I get
It's
it.
pop. It's pop. We've had this argument many a times on this podcast.
It's soda.
It's pop.
Soda.
So what's your favorite TV show going on right now? I know you were a big fan of the Game of Thrones. So what are you into right now?
I'm a big YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube. And the last couple of episodes we've been working on Amish Baby Machine Pop Culture Podcast, the most powerful podcast ever created. We've been doing a lot of mystery and a lot of stuff like that. So I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I like YouTube videos. I like watching content creators, listening to podcasts. A lot of times TV, it's overproduced, and I actually like hearing what so-called normal people have to say. So lately I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos.
Now, like, to get into that, like, into your podcast a little bit, like, we just listened to the one about Flight 19. Sorry, I did tell you I was going to listen to it a while ago, but, like, I got hung up at work, and I got a new phone, and then I couldn't plug it into my car, and then, like, so there's a whole thing. But I did finally get to listen to it, and very powerful podcast. But we were talking about Flight 19, and so then we also jumped into the one that you did about the alien abductions, which we thought the alien abductions one was funny as hell, and like your point of view on the whole thing. So I just wanted to touch base on that because like a lot of people that listen to our podcast might not know about your podcast, and so did you pick this topic like just off of like watching YouTube?
Which topic are we talking about?
Well, let's stick with the Flight 19.
Are you guys familiar with In Search Of, the TV show from the 70s?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of that. So that was kind of an homage and an homage, if you will, to that show.
Okay.
I love mysteries, Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, Flight 19, creatures from swamps, all that stuff, cryptozoology. So the Flight 19, the Bermuda Triangle, was huge in the 70s.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my,
Yeah, isn't it?
and that's kind of the big thing that kicked off the Bermuda Triangle too, was the disappearance of Flight 19. So that's why I picked it. Just love it.
So do you believe in Bigfoot? Are there a lot of Bigfoots in Minnesota?
Wow. Do I believe in Bigfoot? I'm going to leave that open.
Oh, that's a powerful answer.
Your listeners are going to have to tune in.
There you go.
There you
I know
go.
what it
There you go.
There's that turn. There's a tie.
Yes.
It's a shameless plug.
It's not shameless.
And they can, if they want to have fun on Twitter, follow us at Amish Bee Machine. I'm on Twitter 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I can attest to that because I think
Yes.
every time I ever message you or post anything, like you respond like very quickly.
Yeah, I do my comedy on there, and I also do the promo of the show. So it's kind of weird.
Like just some of the posts you throw up there, like I was like, man, we could have a whole podcast just on the topics that you just throw out, just to see what people's reactions would be.
Yeah, I love asking people. I love talking about pop culture. So, I throw stuff out there just to get people to talk, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I do my jokes on there, so I have a good time on Twitter. I don't get into heavy political stuff, and I'm more about having fun with people online.
And them big gains in the gym. Don't forget don't leave that out. You're doing all them big gains.
So, by the way, how was that beverage? Did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah, no, I really like this one. The Bang Blue Raz. I Dooley drinks a lot more of the Bangs. I lean more toward the Monster spectrum.
Oh yeah, I love Monster too. What's your favorite Monster drink?
Right now, for a long time, and I know you just talked about it on your podcast the other day, but the Mango Loco. I think it's been my favorite for quite some time. That and the Pacific Punch one. I like those too.
Yeah, very good.
Those are.
We also have the Mango Loco Monster Punch vodka thing.
We did like one crazy video where we just took like a crap ton of the Mucho mangoes and dumped them into like a punch bowl and then dumped like half a bottle of vodka in it.
We buy all the Mango Locos from the 7-Eleven.
So when you guys drink those, do you guys get a euphoria from it? Does that kick you in the ass or what?
Sometimes, man. I can definitely tell the difference. Like if I didn't have one, does that make sense?
Yes.
It's like it makes it like I can definitely tell, like, because usually I try not to drink too many of them, but it's kind of like a weekend thing for me. I do drink.
Yeah, I mean, if you
go ahead,
too many of them obviously will have a negative effect.
Yeah, I'm more of a coffee person during the week, and then like on the weekends, I think I switch over to the Monsters.
So let me ask you though, on coffee, is it a different type of buzz, or do you get amped when you drink coffee, or do you get amped when you drink?
I think I get more amped on the energy drink.
Yeah,
I think the coffee.
See, with the energy drink, what they do, they stack usually sugar, they stack B vitamins, which stimulate your brain, and then you have the caffeine. So there's that synergy between all of them, and
That's
obviously
why I like
coffee is just caffeine.
Yeah, and the Bangs they're like zero everything, right? Yeah, they have like zero calories, like, so it's not.
Yeah. No, you're right. When I say sugar, artificial sugar, they just have some sort of sweetener in there.
Right.
Plus, so there is definitely a synergy in there.
My only thing with the Bang Energies is like the birthday cake and
There was one like a cotton candy or
yeah,
something.
the cotton candy. Like those two are way too sweet, I guess. Even though they don't have sugar in them, but I mean they're too.
Purple Haze is really good though.
Yeah, I like Purple Haze, Blue Raz, and Peach Mango.
I do recommend, if you guys want to get amped before your podcast, use smelling salts.
So does that give you the same kind of buzz?
Oh, it's powerful.
All right, so we talked about, like, you're on the YouTube thing right now, but, like, do you have, like, getting back to the pop culture, like, your favorite movie of all time? Do you have one? Can you just point it out and be like, hey, this is my favorite movie of all time?
I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit. Your favorite what?
Your favorite movie of all time.
My favorite movie of all time?
Yeah.
Predator.
Fantastic
That's
flick,
a good
man.
one.
Get to the chopper.
Do it. Kill me. Do it. Kill me now. I'm here.
That is like, so you like Predator 1. How did you
What's
feel?
got Billy so spooked?
How did you feel about the second one?
There's only one Predator movie. and there's only 3 Star Wars movies.
Oh no, Dennis! There's only 3 Star Wars movies. You heard him.
I heard what he said.
Trilogy. That's it.
I'll forget the prequels. Don't worry about that. That's not,
See, I think you had to watch them all just for the full story, correct?
The only good prequel was episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. But
when you get George Lucas messing with his own work,
right?
Yeah.
That'd be like Picasso repainting his paintings. I mean, it's stupid.
We all know
And everything he added just more dumb CGI that had nothing to do with anything.
that, and he changed it because it was Han that shot first.
Well, I know that you do not care for CGI, correct?
I like practical effects, but if CGI, I like it when you don't know it's CGI. It's so well done.
Okay.
And like I always say, that the most difficult things are smoke, water, ice, those kind of things. But they're getting so good at everything else. It doesn't bother me.
So
It just
basically,
bothers
what
me
you're
when
saying,
when you can totally tell. I like a good practical effect, like a car chase. I like a real car chase.
Okay.
So I mean, if you look back at the '70s movies, you appreciate.
Oh no! Did we just time out?
yeah, I'll pause.
Pause.
Talking about car chases in '70s movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you want to? Where did you want me to start up, or where are you gonna? Whatever you want to do.
No, we'll go back to the car chases in the '70 movies. Just pick up right there.
Do you want me to start talking about that? Okay.
Yeah. So we'll just start like right back where you were. Like let's talk about like real life effects.
Sorry for technical
Okay.
difficulties.
All right. So Dooley, go ahead and fire it up.
It's all right.
Hmm?
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, great, fantastic! All right, so the '70s car chases, like the real life car chases.
Yep. So in the '70s, the car chases were incredible, and obviously they weren't CGI. So you think about New York City, the train, the subway, and they're just racing through the streets or down the hills of California. To me, that's cool, and that's not CGI, and I enjoy that. I remember seeing the movie The Matrix.
So I was just about to bring that up,
I was
like
thinking
where
about that
they closed off a section of like the L.A. River, right?
Yeah, I think it was that.
And they were like, or they built a piece of highway, something like that. And I remember watching how they did that. And it was like,
To me,
go
I
ahead.
like The Matrix. To me, The Matrix, there's only one movie, the first Matrix. That's it. So I'm kind of a purist. I like the first Matrix. And I appreciate what they're doing with The Matrix, what they had to deal with. But in a perfect world, I like practical effects and then CGI blended.
Okay.
I'm kind of forgetting, but Heat.
What about Heat? I mean, the gunfight in Heat
Yeah.
was epic.
Yeah, like. Don't forget what I was
Use your
going to
words.
go.
Did you ever
I
watch?
forgot where I was going
Did
to
you
go
ever
with
watch
that.
the Did
Sorry.
you ever watch the behind the scenes of that?
No,
Say again?
I did not for Heat.
Yes.
No, I did not watch the behind the scenes for Heat.
Yeah,
So-
if you go on YouTube, you can see some of it. It's incredible.
Like-
The attention to detail, the audio, the echo of the gunfire off the buildings. And I liked how they didn't use cheesy music. They just had that slow building music.
yeah,
I mean, that scene was, obviously one of the best shootouts ever in a movie,
right.
or at least top 10. There's no doubt.
Could you come off the
No.
top of your head? Could you come off the top of your head and say that? Can you come up with another one? I guess I'm asking. Another firefight or gunfight that we should pay attention to other than Heat?
Well, it's a little different, but probably Saving Private Ryan. I mean, that.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah. The
Yeah.
intro, the beginning of the movie?
I mean, yeah, the audio on that. I mean, and the people, to me, I'm a big audio guy, and I like hearing that. My dad fought in the Korean War, and he told me that that's really what it sounds like when those bullets chirp by you when they're so close.
Yeah.
You actually hear that, and they just capture that. One of the, believe it or not, in Forrest Gump, in the Vietnam scene, that is incredible audio too. The bullets are just chirping by your ears.
Oh, you talking about like before
When he
he
had
got shot in the butt?
Yeah, when he had to run and kept bringing the guys out.
Yeah.
So
Well, wait. Since we're on the topic of like World War II, what do you think about Band of Brothers?
what's that?
He was asking, like, since you were on the topic of World War II and everything, like, he wanted to know what your opinion of Band of Brothers was.
Oh yeah, classic, very good. I
Like,
even
just
like
all the-
cheesy.
Go ahead. Dags?
I even like cheesy war movies. I mean, I like them all.
I'm a big fan of war movies, action movies in general. I like Black Hawk Down is like one of my favorites.
Oh my God! Well, the horrible part about that is it's real.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
You think about those poor guys, you know, when they're running out of ammo.
Yeah. And what's the other one? 13 Hours was a big one for me.
That was a good one too.
Exactly.
So while we're on, like, we're gonna continue down this, like, pop culture and food and movies. This is how I tie everything together. Do you have a favorite moment in a movie where food was incorporated?
Favorite moment where food is incorporated in a movie?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. And I thought about shooting you that question way earlier to like.
But
give
he
you a
never
chance.
does that.
But I never do that. Like I like to see like what do you come up with? Just like your gut reaction to
Top of the
that.
head.
How about when John Belushi was a zit in Animal House?
Mashed potatoes everywhere.
Oh, what was the one? What was the movie with the? Damn, man, I just drew a blank on it. Where the French toast. Fucking, was it Road Trip?
Yes, we just reviewed that.
Yeah, I was
recently.
gonna say,
Yeah.
that was
The unrated version.
Yes.
God, that's a great movie. Oh my God.
DJ
Hopefully
Paul.
it doesn't get canceled because I love that movie. No, I mean it's everyone. Horatio Sands, that scene is
Yes.
great. Everyone has great scenes. The supporting actors. No, that's a great.
That was
I
that
love
was
that
that
movie.
was a great movie. Have you seen the movie Waiting?
Yes, what'd you think?
See, I like it to a point. Obviously, like I'm gonna come straight out. Like I've been in the restaurant industry for most of my life, but those things don't really happen in
Ever.
restaurants ever. Like no one's back there tampering with your food. I promise.
At least in our kitchens.
Yeah, well, the places that I have worked in, I can attest for that. No one's back there messing with your food. No one's pulling their balls out and making weird shapes.
There are like
Evan
okay,
is a
the
penis
ball
showing game. What are you
game.
talking about?
The ball game.
Let me
is,
ask you this. So while we're on that, go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off.
I don't know. The ball game, like it's every restaurant has their type of thing. Like me and a couple other people from an old restaurant, it was the middle finger game. Like
Okay, that's a little more tasteful than the
yeah,
balls.
it's not pulling your shit out, but but like every restaurant, I feel like they have a game for that type of stuff. So like the ball game is just the most vulgar way of
depicting
yeah.
that game. Yes. Dags, you wanted to say something?
Well, saying that being said, how about with social media? And I know these are typically fast food restaurants, but I've seen a ton of gross stuff on TikTok and Twitter and Facebook. You know, people bathing in the sink, spitting in the
At
food.
Wendy's,
Yeah,
Doing a
fucking
ton of
Burger King
stuff.
foot lettuce and stuff like that.
To me, that's disgusting. And thankfully, like, because I have seen these things, and like, those people were terminated after the video was posted, which I mean is dumb. All the whole aspect of that I think is just stupid. Like you're tampering with people's food, and I think that is just a terrible thing. And like I enjoyed the movie for the principle that it's humor, but these things because this is like what people think happen in restaurants, but they really don't happen like that. Now the table, or like the server coming out from the kitchen bitching and screaming, and then when she hits the floor, she puts on a huge smile and walks up to the table and is like the nicest person in the world. Like that shit's real. Like that part's real. Like like, they're in the back screaming and cussing at the cooks and all that, and then they walk out to the floor and they're as nice as they can be to you because it's not you, it's the kitchen that's pissing them off. Like that part is real, but like a lot of that movie was not real. Like the pubes in your food and things like that. Like that doesn't happen.
But like
Another thing I noticed.
No, sorry.
Go ahead.
No. Well, like the the kiss ass to the manager trying to get a better pay raise, the Karens at the table, the hostess thing, all that type of stuff. Like a lot of that stuff is like
Overplayed, but it's real.
overplayed, but you see that in restaurants a lot. So
The dishwasher's high in the refrigerator. That doesn't.
no, the
that
dish
doesn't
bowl
really
and everything.
happen.
Yeah, that doesn't happen at all. But
Go ahead, Dax.
What is your take on tips? because I see a lot of videos of servers bitching about their tips and bitching about notes written on there. So what is your take on getting tips?
Personally, I think that it should go away. I think that they should pay a server a livable wage. But on the flip side of that, most servers, at least for the places that I've worked, make way more than the livable wage would be.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, these servers, they can make $200, in a 4 or 5 hour shift. If you put them on an hourly rate, they're not they're not gonna make that money. You know what I mean? And you're not gonna make $200 in 4 to 5 hours as a server. But I think, like, on the flip side of that, it's some people tip well, some people don't tip at all. It's it runs a spectrum. But I think at the end of the day, it evens out. If this is the society that we live in, and then you tip, and it's a tip society, I think that you should tip your server. I mean, since it is like, I think only in America it's custom, right? But I think, like, it's our custom now, and it's going to be hard to change that custom, especially to the servers and bartenders. Like, bartenders make a killing, man.
Yeah.
I've worked in places where a bartender can make $500 in a night. And like, if you were going to pay them, $15 an hour, they aren't going to make $500 in a night.
Yeah, no.
Especially if you take the tipping out of it. I know, like, in Asian cultures, like, it's rude to tip somebody.
Yeah.
Because it's like saying, like, you don't think they make enough money doing the job that they have. So yeah, it's tough, Dax, to put your finger on that. I mean, I think, like, if this is the society we live in, I mean, I think we're just going to continue this culture, and, like, there's no right or wrong answer. I mean, and if your food's messed up, trust me, the server didn't do it.
It's never the server's fault.
It's weird about servers. They used to come up and they'd have a little notepad and write down your order. And then I noticed they started leaning down at table level. Then I'd see some servers, like, sit right next to you. Mm-hmm. I was always wondering, what's the next thing you're going to lay across the table? And I always thought that was annoying, too, when they'd kind of flirt with you to try to get you. They're trying to set the person up to tip them well.
Of course. I mean, that's, like, they're in the job of sales, Like, they're trying to create the best experience, obviously, but they're also, like, looking at your tab and trying to, like, upsell you on things, because if they raise their check average, they raise if they're running on, like, an 18% is their average, they're running on that percentage, and they're trying to make money.
Because, like, two examples, Hooters, it's a sex appeal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what's your take on bartender servers? I worked in the bar business for 1 million years, and it used to drive me nuts. Like, you'd have to get up there. You're at a crowded club. You got to make your way up to the bar, and then you got to sit there and try to get the bartender's attention. And half the time you're in the wrong section. You're in the waitress section. You're in the server section. So you got to move over. Then finally you get the guy's attention, and he throws a hastily made drink at your way, turns around, and then I'm supposed to tip him. So that used to annoy me. And
yeah,
I
can see your point of view there.
Yeah. So I understand, like, the Cheers bartender that's making you a handcrafted mixologist and chipping ice and talking to you. But when you're in these clubs and they're just throwing these, these bar poured drinks at you, and then I'm supposed to tip on top of that plus the cover charge to get in there. So I always, what are your thoughts on, like, robot bartenders? I used to joke about that, having machines, because the bouncer's security staff has to watch people to see if they're intoxicated anyway. So
Yes.
what do you think about just having automatic vending machines?
That question has never been asked to me before. That's a great question.
Well, that's
what
why
about people walking out
we're
on
known
tabs?
as the most powerful podcast ever created. Amish baby machine pop culture podcast.
That's awesome. Okay, so you know what? I wouldn't be against it. Like, if it was like a kiosk, like, I'm picturing something like a kiosk, like almost like a Wawa kiosk. I don't know if you have Wawa there. But like
no, but I know it.
yeah, but you go up there and like you punch in what you want and you can customize it, and then you send it, and then you pay for it, and then it just appears. Like I could get behind that, because like if that's the way, I mean, I don't know. I feel like there still has to be someone there, because like
No,
I mean,
it's an old model. It's like I used to DJ in clubs too. So it's the other thing too. You have someone controlling the music,
yeah, but I think
and then
like,
you have people coming up taking requests. So it's the same with the bartenders, servers. Anyway, you have to have someone to watch. I mean, there's definitely a balance. But like I said, in a nightclub situation, it's kind of different. You're not getting that intimate neighborhood bar feel. You're just basically pouring drinks down people's throats. So I don't know. It's weird. Just something to think about.
Like in a club setting, I think it would work better. But I think a lot of times, like I'll regular a bar because of the bartender and because the communication, like just talking about things, like the reason, like maybe you don't necessarily always go to the bar to talk to the bartender, but if you go to a bar alone and you just need somebody to talk to, I feel like the bartender is kind of like
a cheap therapist.
Well, yeah, it's a cheaper therapist, I guess. I don't know. Like it's just like a sounding board, like somebody you can just throw things at, and get an outside opinion. What do you think?
No, I think you're right. I think it's comparing, maybe fast food versus a nice restaurant versus a neighborhood bar. Yeah, I just think the nightclub back in the day going out used to just irritate me. Fight the crowds and push your way all up to the bar. And like I said, half the time I'm in the server station and they kick me out. And then they yell at you. And then you finally get their attention. And they throw a hastily made drink at you. And then you're supposed to tip them out.
I kind of found that like early age, like 21, 22, like all my friends were like, hey, let's go to the strip club, let's go to the club and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm kind of fun here. This is a quiet ass bar. Like, you get a drink made right there. Like, I like quiet little bars.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like I mean, I have been to clubs in my younger days, but like I don't.
In the days of your youth.
Yeah, the days of my youth. Like but like I would rather go to a bar as opposed to a club. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I hate clubs.
Yelling at a girl right next to you, can I get you a drink?
Yeah.
What?
No, I hear you.
Because there's actually Dennis, what's it called? The strip, the block.
The block.
Yeah, the block.
Yeah, the block. Like
yeah.
So
over there.
okay, so just to Dex, to give you like there's like in Virginia Beach at the oceanfront there is literally like a block, and it's just all these bars.
Yeah, between 20th and 21st Street.
It's all these bars, /clubs. They're kind of like a bar during the day, and at night they get really obnoxiously loud. And I just made it to 21 people are in there, and it's like amateur hour all night. And like I've been there. I don't want to go
I went there
there
one time with my old band, and it was this one of the band members' like friend's birthday. So we're like, fuck it, let's go, whatever. I got a 12-ounce Bud Light. This is when I was drinking Bud Light. And a shot of well whiskey, and that shit came up to $13. And I was like, alright, so I'm not drinking it down here anymore. The tab came up for all them on all like 3 bars over there was like $500.
Yeah, man, that's insane.
I was like, and it's a fucking Wednesday.
All right, Dags, I got some questions for you. I got some pop culture trivia. Like, I'm a big fan of trivia. I don't know how you are, but I got you some pop culture trivia, and I just wanted to see, like, we're gonna test a little bit of your pop culture knowledge. How do you feel?
Uh-oh.
Are you ready?
You can edit this all out.
Edit all
All
this
my
out.
mistakes.
All right, so the first one I'm going to start off relatively easy because I know you were a fan of Game of Thrones. And the question is, what modern-day item made a cameo in the final season of Game of Thrones?
Oh, a cup of coffee?
Yeah, the Starbucks coffee cup. All right. Ding, ding, ding. You got one. All right, so here's a little bit tougher. how many Harry Potter books and movies are there? Now, there's two different numbers. There's a book and a movie number. There's more movies than books. I'm going to give you that hint. Are you a Harry Potter fan at all?
No, I'm an adult male, so I don't.
Oh,
Shots fired, shots
first
fired.
one. Hey.
Yeah, shots
First
fired on
shot
that one.
fired. Okay, so
I want to get into this real quick I'll just say this real quick. Isn't it weird how you used to do stuff as a kid and then you stopped doing it as an adult? And we stopped doing that. Think about it. Comic books, video games. You know, back in the day, the guys would come back from the war and they'd go to work and they'd forget about all that stuff. Isn't that weird?
yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, you know, like, I'll be honest with you, like, as like now, like when I was a kid, you could, like, at the grocery store, they had like a whole comic book section, like in like the magazine rack area, or like even
They'd have that spinner rack too.
yeah, the
remember
little
that?
spinner rack by the register, and you don't see that anymore.
You barely find
No.
it at a bookstore sometimes.
But I think like maybe times have changed and comic books aren't as popular as they used to be. But then the movies are so damn popular. Why aren't the comic books as popular?
Yeah, I didn't mean to sidetrack you, but that was just something I
No,
always
but
thought
no,
about.
like this is what we do. Like now, like we're talking, man. Like so, because I know you are a huge comic book fan. Now we're going down. You opened up this hole, and now we jumped in the rabbit hole.
Sure.
So
But
go ahead.
as far as Larry Potter, I have no idea.
So the answer
Yeah.
to that was there were 7 books and 8 movies. So you know how the
I was
books.
going to say 5, so I would have been wrong.
Yeah, well, I would have been wrong too if I didn't have the answer in front of me.
I would have had like a crossover where the Expendables came and killed all those guys. That would have been mine.
It's only a
Well,
living
Arnold.
Gusta. Fuck you,
Into the Harry
Reggie.
Potter. Kill him.
Get on your broomstick.
Get on your broomstick and
I'm a
fly
fucking
around.
idiot. My
So
name is Detective John Kimball.
That was a
I'm the
great
potty
movie.
pooper.
That was perfect.
oh goodness. All right. So your favorite comic book? Like I don't know if you're still into comics. I know you were at some point because you're a comic book fan. Like when you were like, your favorite? I guess character. Your comic is that
The Amazing Spider-Man.
So I know you were a fan of the CGI in those movies. What did
The
you?
Amazing Spider-Man would be my favorite character. I hated the Green Goblin. That was horrible.
How did you feel about
See, to me,
Hobgoblin then?
No.
No, just no.
And I didn't, yeah, I liked, like, the first couple Spider-Mans were good, the movies. They weren't bad. Tobey Maguire was good.
So
But I like classic Amazing Spider-Man, John Romita kind of stuff. I didn't like when it all, went off into a million different universes.
So you're not a fan of the Spider-Verse? I haven't seen that, but I just know that there's a Spider-Verse.
It is good.
I'm typically a traditionalist,
Okay.
but I
So
also, go ahead.
do you lean more toward Marvel than DC?
Yes. Marvel's way better, but I like DC. What's cool about DC, their movies are horrible, but their animated movies are really good. They really
Yeah.
do a good job. I don't know if you ever seen any of their animated movies, but they're very good.
I don't know if I have seen it.
Wait. Okay, so on that topic with the DC thing, what did you think about the Joker?
I'm having a hard time hearing you. What was that?
He was asking you like, how the movie Joker? Did you watch that one?
I did see the Joker.
What did you think?
That was weird. It was very dark. I liked it as a movie. As far as a comic book movie, I don't know yet. I'd like to see what they do with it. Definitely a dark movie. And Joaquin Phoenix was very good in it.
I thought so as well. Like to me, like going into it, like because I watched it very late. I think I only watched it like last month. But I, you kind of want it to be like a comic book movie, but everyone told me it wasn't. It's just like kind of like an origins movie.
Yeah.
I'm just confused because the Joker is supposed to be this criminal mastermind. And to me, that Joaquin Phoenix character didn't seem like it. He just seemed like a regular guy that had serious mental issues. So I'd like to see how they're going to turn him into this criminal mastermind.
That's kind of what Jason was saying. I feel like it's definitely an origin, and like the end of the movie Spoiler alert for anyone that hasn't seen it. It's only been out for like a year or something. But like the end of it, like I feel like that's where Harley Quinn's origin should come in. Like he's walking away with bloodfoot steps and everything like that.
Well, that's when she was running up and down the hallway, wasn't she? Or was that him running up and down the hallway?
No.
Like, I get confused. I have a question for you, Dags. Since we're on this movie thing with the Joker and all that, so do you feel the need for them to give you Batman's backstory in the beginning of every fucking movie? Like every Batman movie, there's always the scene where they go through like 15 minutes of like how his parents were killed, and I think they can leave that out of most of the movies now because we know, and they did it in Joker too, and like I feel like that doesn't need to be in every movie. What are your thoughts?
Do you think, I agree, do you think they're doing that just to suck more people in? I mean, they definitely do it with Spider-Man, always having him getting bit by the spider.
Yeah.
They always have Uncle Ben and...
I feel like the origin things of most of the things
I agree with you.
It's
Once
beating a
is
dead
all
horse
you
to me.
need.
Yes, exactly. He's beating a dead horse. Like we know it's there. We know how it happened. I mean, if you're watching the 7th movie, you've probably seen at least 4 of the other ones. You know that.
Why are they beating a dead horse? I mean, why were they beating it when it was alive? I mean, what the hell did it do?
Get on the track. Go.
Oh man. Okay. We're gonna fire.
What is the level of your show? Is it G, PG, R?
Like, are you talking about our show?
Yes, the
Yeah,
one right now I'm talking about.
It's definitely in the explicit category. You can say
It is,
whatever you
okay.
want. Yeah,
Okay.
we have to check that little box every time we
Yeah,
post.
okay. Because I was going to say something about, beat off a dead horse, but I cut myself. I filtered.
Hey, that is a job in some places.
Because you don't want to get me going, trust me.
Oh no, this is what we want.
Yes.
All right,
My
so
old co-host always got mad at me because I always filtered myself. Because my sense of humor is just filthy. But it's funny on Twitter. It's just usually just puns.
right.
I'll just do a lot of puns and dad jokes and observations. But my real humor is pretty sick. So,
It was just like us
I don't
when
know,
we were on the
maybe
TV
after,
show.
Maybe after a couple shots of Yag or something, the truth would come up.
No, we definitely want. We're the unfiltered people. We don't edit a whole lot, so if you just be careful at
I think
that
this
point.
is the most editing we've done is the whole pausing.
Well, edit that part out because that might sound weird to people.
Yeah.
Put a sexy filter on my voice. Make it deep and rich.
We'll give you that.
Make it powerful.
I wanted. Oh yeah.
We'll give you the powerful James Earl Jones filter. How's that? All right, so I got another one for you. This one, so a little more toward TV shows. What is Kramer's first name on Seinfeld sitcom? Do you know his first name?
Do you remember Carl Sagan?
Carl Sagan.
Yes, he did a show. In this universe, there's bits and pieces of intergalactic stuff. There's the cosmos.
You were right. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
And then I'm going to hit you with a hard seltzer question. Which hard seltzer did America face a shortage of in 2019?
Hard seltzer?
Yes.
What is it, White Claw?
It
or what are
was
we
White
talking-
Claw. Very good, sir.
There ain't no law when you drink the claw.
I got some food trivia for you if you're down for that.
You got some what?
Some food trivia?
Oh, I might not do well on that.
Well, let's throw one at you real fast. I'm going to start easy on you again. All right. What supermarket chain America's supermarket chain Whole Foods is owned by which mega company?
Owned by what? Aldi?
Which mega company?
Oh, mega company owns. Oh, Amazon.
Yes, sir. Amazon. They bought it for $14 billion
Okay.
in 2017.
So, like, pocket change?
Yeah, pocket change for Amazon. Okay, so this one's a little more fun. Who is considered to be the founder of the frozen food industry?
Frozen food industry.
Yes.
That's interesting. I can tell you up here in Minnesota, Gino Palucci he came up with Chungking and frozen pizzas, Totino's pizzas too.
Oh,
We have a lot of powerful Italians up here. Carboni. So frozen
foods, and it's actually, I'm going to help you out. It's a brand name company because the owner of said company invented the flash freezing process.
I don't know. I'm thinking bird's eye, maybe.
Yes, great job, sir. What are you Googling over there? And then I'm going to hit you. Here's a good pop culture one. It's a food pop culture question. Which cocktail was made famous by rapper Snoop Doggy Dogg in 1990?
Cocktail? Like gin and juice? Or what are we
Yes,
talking
sir. Gin and juice. He actually holds the world record for the world's largest gin and juice at 132 gallons. All right.
about? Sweet.
So then I got one that's a little gross, but it's a real thing. All right. So the red food coloring carmine is extracted from which source?
Say again?
The red food coloring carmine is extracted from what source?
A beetle?
Yes, sir. Man, you are good. See, you didn't think you would do well here.
You need to
So
play
you know
Hot
when
or Wet with us.
you know when I say I have the most powerful podcast ever created? It's not hyperboil. It's not Susan Boyle. It's real.
I love it, man.
And I'm going to need you kids to follow us on Twitter at Amish Bee Machine, Instagram, like our Facebook page, and most importantly, subscribe to our powerful podcast, which is available on every platform you can think of: Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora. It goes on and on. Stitcher Radio.
What about your merch? You don't leave your merch out.
Merch. We have powerful merch. Like I'm looking at yours. I love your Team Fat Kid stuff, by the way. You guys are going to need to check that out. Go to Team Fat Kid. Is it teamfatkid.com?
That's teamfatkidnation.com, yeah.
teamfatkidnation.com. I'm going to need everyone to go there and buy all their merch. And yes, we do have powerful merch. AmishBabyMachine.com.
I like
We
the
have
mask.
T-shirts. Thank you. Yes, we do have masks. And if you're into masks, that's fine. If you don't want to wear one, that's fine. We literally have you covered either way. I got T-shirts, hoodies, everything, hats. No, I don't think we have hats. Nope.
Yeah, I get
Hoodies,
some yoga
T-shirts,
pants tonight.
stickers, mugs. We have a powerful T-shirt called Failed Podcaster. You guys got to check that out.
I gotta check that out.
Wear it literally or wear it ironically. Thank you for letting me plug my merch.
Of course, man. Like, I got a question though. Like, going back to your podcast, because I heard obviously, like, how do you guys pick your song of the day? Is it just
Song of the day.
Is it just at random that you guys pick a song of the day?
Well, it's weird, you know. Like I said, I used to be a DJ. I love '80s music, so I always trapped in the '80s. So I try to get an '80s song as much as possible. I'll do a theme, you know, like we did. So I'll tie it to whatever the theme is. I'll try to get it in somehow. We did the show on the monsters, the mythical monsters,
Yep.
and so I picked "All You Zombies" by the Hooters. So that kind of thing. And then sometimes they're just random songs that we come up with.
And you said you were going to put something up on Spotify. We have a couple playlists up on Spotify as well.
Sweet. So what's your go-to music, you guys? I know there's a bunch of you guys there, but
I think, like, if I'm at work, I'm a big fan of the 90s hip hop.
for example,
Like, you know, the Tupacs, the Snoops, you know, going back, like, the old school Ja Rules. That's just, like, my work music. I pretty much like every genre of music, to be honest with you. There's not a whole lot that I can't get on board with, except for, like,
what song do you like that you'd be embarrassed to tell people?
Oh, I'm not even embarrassed. Like, I used to be embarrassed,
here we
but the what's the song? Crap, by, damn, I just drew a blank. Taylor Swift, man. Like,
You want to shake it off?
yeah, the "Shake It Off" song. Like,
Oh my God.
I'm not. I just there's like I don't know, man. Like, I don't know.
How many listeners do you think you just lost?
Probably all of them.
You know, like, I've said it before. You know,
know
what I
about
mean?
Tay-Tay?
But look, Dags, we appreciate you coming on. We're gonna run out of time. We already ran out of time once, and I don't want to tie up your entire day.
Can I just comment on Epic Beard Man's beard?
Oh, right here, yeah, Dennis the
Look at
Butcher,
that.
or
Yes, sir.
that's Dennis the Butcher,
Yeah.
and then that's Dooley on the other screen.
That is a powerful beard.
Appreciate that, sir.
Yes.
Is there anything that we forgot to mention that you want to get out there before we turn this one off?
No, I just appreciate coming on your show. It's awesome. I love food. I like watching you guys, listening to you guys. You guys do a great show. I wanted to get next time we'll get into about the Food Network.
Okay, yeah. We'll definitely get into
Yeah.
that next time. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll plan something and we'll do it again soon. We really enjoy having you on the show, man. You bring a lot of laughs, a lot of fun. This is the first time that we've ever had another podcast on
Oh,
our
really?
podcast.
Wow.
So
Sweet.
this was brand new territory for us, and of course, like me and all of us never really having like a actual true conversation outside of like Twitter. I think like this went rather well for us.
Yeah, very well.
Yeah, and I can basically talk about anything. So, like I said, whatever subject you bring up, we'll have fun.
Awesome, man. We'll set it up again. Once again, man, I really do appreciate you taking the time out of your day and sitting down and talking with us. Maybe next time we can get like all the video working, so we can actually see you.
My problem is that I got real life gets in the way. So,
I understand that, man.
but yeah, we'll definitely do it. And yeah, I appreciate you having me on. You know, I will let me know when the episode drops, and I'll see you guys online.
All right, man. Thank you so much, man.
All right.
We'll talk to you later on.
Anytime. All right, have a good one.
Have a
All
good day.
Hey, bud.
See ya.
Yeah, that was for Dags. And guys, we just want to thank Amish Baby Making Machine for coming on to the
Baby machine.
Damn, why do I always mess it
Not
up?
baby making.
Why do I want it to be Baby Making Machine?
It just
So it's
rolls off
Amish
the
Baby
tongue.
Machine. It just rolls off the tongue. Amish Baby Machine Pop Culture Podcast. God. Alex tried to come in on the podcast. He did not make it. Like he tried. Can I get volume? You're good at this game. So Alex tried to come on the podcast. We got to make sure he gets in there somewhere, right? All right. So once again, we want to thank Amish Baby Machine Pop Culture Podcast for coming on the podcast today. Dags is great. If you guys listen to podcasts, like you can pretty much find his podcast anywhere you can find ours on everything.
Highly recommend.
Yes, highly recommended. Good stuff. His is a little different than our podcast, which I think makes it fun when we merge the two together. And we try to. We don't always talk about pop culture.
No.
We don't talk about a lot of comic books and movies.
Anything outside of
and-
food.
Yeah, we really don't. I mean, it was fun. It was to dig into that a little bit, like having a different perspective on our podcast as well. And we did try to tie it in with food still, and so it was a good podcast. I enjoyed it. It was fun hanging out with him for a little bit. All right, so Dennis, you know your deal. So here we go. I got to get a list. I don't know how he remembers all this crap. All right. Good job, Dooley. All right, remember, guys, thank you for listening to Team Fat Kid Choose the Fat. You can always find us on Facebook,
Team Fat Kid.
on Instagram,
Team Fat Kid Nation.
on Twitter,
At Team Fat Kid 1.
and don't forget to find us on YouTube.
Team Fat Kid.
And our podcast, Team Fat Kid Choose the Fat, is available on every listening podcast app out there.
And for all your knife and clothing apparel needs, you can find us at www.teamfatkidnation.com.
If you just want to find us, just search into Facebook Twitter. We out here. Praise the Lord.
Check live, being reborn,